step process in benchmarking analysis. What is benchmarking? How benchmarking analysis done? And what are the advantages of benchmarking analysis that we had discussed in the yesterday's in the last session, not yesterday, but last session. So this we have already covered. So now we will move on to the another topic, and that topic is Porter's value chain model. The Porter's value chain model in his 1985 book Competitive Advantage, Porter explained that a value chain is collection of processes that company performs to create value for its customers, consumers. As a result, he asserts that value chain analysis is directly linked to competitive advantage. Porter's value chain model is a strategic tool developed by Harvard Business School professor Michael Porter. The tool analyzes the company's value chain defined as combination of processes that the company uses to make money. So here in the video, or sorry, on the slide, the picture shows that there are two type of activities. One is support activities, the other one is primary activities. Support activities are firms infrastructure, human resource management, technology development, and procurement. Whereas primary activities of the company are inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and service. Now, this particular model, Porter's value chain analysis, it talks about that how an organization can measure its value with respect to customers or consumers. That is what this model talks about. That you can find out that how valuable processes are. That's the reason why it has been divided into two types. First one is the support activities, and the second one is the primary activities. Now, these primary activities are directly involved in the creation, delivery, and the sale of a product or service. Two type of activity. One is support, the other one is primary. We will be discussing the primary activities initially, and then we will move on to the support activities. So primary activities are those activities which are directly involved in the creation of product. So here it is written on the slide, you can see that under primary activities, inbound logistics and operations are given. Now, under inbound logistics and operations, that means that how you are collecting the raw material and how you are using that raw material to make finished goods. If a product is there, that will be categorized under primary activity. Then how you are managing the sale of that product. So manufacturing of product, selling of that particular product is included under primary activity. So every company has to categorize or differentiate that what are their primary activities and what are their secondary or support activities. So primary activities, we have already discussed that these are the activities which are related to creation, delivery, and sale of product. That's the reason why in primary activities, inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics. Under outbound logistics, what happens is you have created the product, you have manufactured the product, then you are transferring that or transporting that product from organization, from factory, from industry to the sales office or to the consumers, as it is directly involved with the product, so it is included under the primary activity. Now, what activities are included under inbound logistics? So all the activities which are related to receiving or storing or distributing input. That's what we had just discussed, that from where we are collecting raw material, how we are collecting raw material, that is included under inbound logistics. Now, the next one is operation. Operation, everyone is aware of what is the meaning of operation. So, meaning of operation is that how you are manufacturing, what kind of processes the organization is using for manufacturing the product. That will be included under operations. Outbound logistics, we have already discussed, marketing and sales. Once you have manufactured the product, your logistics are fixed, that how you will be sending that product to various shops, various showrooms, various dealerships. Then you have to talk about marketing and sales. How you are going to market your product, how you are going to increase the sale of your product, the strategies which you will be making related to marketing of your product, related to sale of your product. And the next one is, what about the after sale service, the strategy related to after sale service of the company of for that particular product. All these things are directly related to the product, and that's the reason why they are categorized under primary. Now, under support activity, it is written firm's infrastructure. Firm's infrastructure means company's infrastructure. Okay, for manufacturing a particular product, we need certain kind of machines. It is so strategy is to be prepared from where we will be getting those machines. Is all the infrastructure required, like machines, like other tools, like other equipment, is available in the company or not? As it is not directly related, that's the reason why it is said it is mentioned under support activities or secondary activities. Why support activities? Because it is supporting the primary activities. That's the reason why it is called as support activities. Second, human resource management. Again, very simple concept is there. Human resource employees are required. How many employees are required to work on the machine? How many employees are required to work in other departments? Like how many will be working directly in the operations, how many will be working in finance, how many will be working in marketing, how many will be working in sales. All these are covered under human resource. So organization has to prepare a strategy that, okay, if we want to achieve a particular target, how many employees are required? Then they need to categorize in which department how many employees are required. Then at in a particular department, at which level the employees are required. So strategies which are made related to human resource management or related to the recruitment, selection, training of the employees will be covered under human resource management. Technology development, again, what kind of technology, strategy related to what kind of technology the company will be using to manufacture the product of the company is covered under technology management. So strategies are to be made whether the existing technology which the company is using is good for the company, or is there any improvement required, or can we change the entire uh, uh, technology? If we use, say, new technology, is it possible for the company to make better products? All these things are to be studied or measured under technology development. And the last one is procurement. Procurement means from where we will be getting the raw material, how we'll be finalizing the vendor, what are the various parameters on which we will be finalizing the vendor, whether only price will be the parameter, or apart from price, the other parameters will also be included, like quality of the raw material or speedy delivery of the raw material. In case of emergency, whether the vendor is able to supply raw material at 11th hour. All these things are to be discussed under procurement. So by analyzing these two activities, that whether our support activities are supporting the primary activities, if they are supporting, at what level they are supporting, 100% they are supporting or 90%, how we will come to know that whether our support activities are supporting our primary activities 100%? When the output is more than the input. Very simple. Every company wants that less input should produce more output. So every company wants that. Next is also, this way we can measure whether the support activities are 100% supporting the primary activities or not. The firm's infrastructure, whether the infrastructure is proper or not. Infrastructure includes everything. Infrastructure doesn't include only the building. It includes, say, the all the infrastructure. For example, whether proper lighting is available or not. So, for example, in case of rainy season or in case of cloudy weather, when there is darkness, there is less sunlight. Is it mm, is there enough sunlight inside the operations hall where the actual operations are carried out, or where the operative machines are installed? Whether enough light is there, if there is no electricity or there is electricity failure, whether drinking facilities are available, whether rest facilities are available, whether other facilities are given to the employees. All these things are included under infrastructure. So what it says is that company has to check whether they are performing or creating value for its customer. When a company will be creating value for the customer? When the existing customer is happy, and when the company is being attracted by new customers also, or new consumers also, then only we can say that yes, the company is creating value for the consumer, right? Because we all are aware that in today's era, the competition is more as compared to say 20 last 20 years, 20 years back. So before 20 years or before 30 years, the situation was not that tough. As more companies have come in, there we do not find very easily a particular sector where we can say that one particular company is having monopoly. The moment we feel that there is monopoly of one company, immediately some other company emerges to compete that particular company. Various players were there in the telecom sector, but now we are seeing that in India only two major players are there. One is Jio, the other one is Airtel. Vodafone, uh, 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 thousands and lakhs of people have left Vodafone because of various reasons. So we are not going to discuss those reasons, but now only two major players are there. So both the players, whenever they feel, they can increase the price of their services, packages, that we have been seeing that over a period of last say 1 or 2 years, if we say percentage wise, we will come to know that both the companies, Airtel and Jio, they have increased their prices of their packages, various packages, to a great extent. And the reason is very simple. There is less competition in the telecom sector now, right now. But the moment we say that there is less competition, the other companies also come in and they find that they are having growth in this particular market. And that's the reason why Elon Musk is coming, why he is trying to enter this telecom sector. And we are not sure that he will be the only person who will be competing with these two existing players. Another company may join in. And if more competitors are there, then we can expect that prices will come down. We can expect that better after sales services will emerge. Reason is very simple. Right now, if I'm not happy with the services of Jio, or if I'm not happy with the services of Airtel, I do not have many options. I can either convert it to the other telecom operator, but not the third one because I do not have that much of players available. But once Musk's company come in, the other also players come in, and when the consumer or the customer is having many options, automatically all the companies also realizes this situation. Now the picture has changed. Instead of two, now three players are there. Instead of two, now four, five, six players are there. So first thing what we need to do is we need to catch hold of our existing customers, as well as we need to attract the new customers. So that is very important. So that way the company shall always decide that whether we are creating value for the consumers or customers. If we are creating value, then only we can expect that our customers will be retained or we can attract new customers, otherwise not. How it is to be analyzed? So that we have just discussed that we need to write down what are the primary activities of company and what are the uh, support activities, and then we need to measure whether both support activities as well as the primary activities are 100% or not. If they are not 100%, then we need to check where it is lagging and we need to come up with corrective measures. So that is what Porter's value chain model is all about. Now, this We have just discussed about the in detail. The slide is given uh, the firm's infrastructure. Now, the arrow, you can see the arrow also. The previous slide was also having that arrow. Arrow shows that you are moving towards growth. And on both the arrows, the word written are margin. When your primary activities, when your primary activities are at the best, your margin is also, your profit margin is also more. Similarly, so you can see that on the uh, in this particular diagram, the lower side is having a green color. So, and in the on the upper side there is no green color. Only that arrow shows green color, and that too green is there in the lower part of that particular diagram, not on the upper part of the diagram. And the reason is that if your primary activities are excellent, that means what does that mean? Your raw material should be excellent, your operations should be excellent, your product quality should be excellent, your marketing and sales should be excellent, your after sales services should be excellent. If all these things are excellent, then your profit margin will be more. And if the company is providing the good support activities, excellent support activities, even if the support activities are excellent, still they have shown that margin of profit will be limited or will be less as compared to margin which we will be getting when our primary activities are excellent. Easiest example is Tesla. Easiest example is say iPhone. Quality of the product, and that's the reason why they are increasing their prices. Now, new uh, iPhone 17 in India, it is around plus or minus 1,50,000. 1,50,000 rupees it is going to cost. And later on, once they come up with the new version, they slash the prices of the earlier version. That we have seen. That is the strategy of Apple. Now, why they are able to increase the prices at this level? Then they will start selling, say, 16 Pro Max, 40,000 less or 50,000 less, or there will be a discount of 25,000, 40,000, or maybe more than that. And still, they are able to earn profit. That shows the margin of profit which they are keeping is very high. That shows that if they are selling for 1 year, they have sold their mobile phone at say 1,50,000 rupees. Immediately after 6 months or after 1 year, once they come up with a new version of their iPhone, immediately 1,50,000 iPhone is sold for 1,20,000, 1,10,000, or maybe 1,00,000 rupees. That is not loss for, they are not selling for loss. Still, they are earning profit. So we can imagine that maybe for by selling 1 lakh rupee iPhone, they may be earning say 10,000 rupees or maybe 20,000 rupees. We are not sure how much profit they are keeping. But we can imagine that 1,50,000 means one piece was giving them profit of say 50,000 rupees. After 1 year, when they are selling that for 1 lakh rupees, we are aware that no company sells its product for loss or at loss. So for 1 lakh also, if we will say that they will be earning say 10,000 rupees of profit, we can assume that there might be 60,000 rupees profit. So actual cost of iPhone manufacturing can be say 80,000, 90,000. Rest all is profit. All the cost, manufacturing cost, selling cost, or after sales services, or store charges, salesmen, everything all inclusive. Still, per piece they are having high margin. Why they are able to keep high margin? Similarly, a similar situation we cannot see with the other phones. Samsung or other Chinese brands, what how they are marketing or how they are selling their products, they are keeping their margins very less, very tight. That if say 50,000 phone is there, iPhone is being sold for 1,50,000, competitors are selling their phones at 50,000, or their luxury phones or good quality phones may cost say 60,000, 70,000 also, but it is less than 50% of iPhone. So we can say that companies can keep high margin of profit on their product if the company is concentrating excellently on primary activities. So that is what Porter value chain model talks about. This we have already discussed, so we are not going to discuss. Now we will move on to organization capability framework, or it is also called as OCP. OCP stands for Organizational Capability Policy. That is called as OCP, or it is also called as OCF, Organizational Capability Framework, that we are going to discuss. Now, organizational capability, we all are aware, it's a very simple term. Capability, we are aware of. Organization, we are also aware of. So, organizational capability profile or framework, it measures, or it evaluates, or it assesses the internal strengths and weaknesses across the key functions that are being performed in the organization. That is going to be evaluated under OCP, or it is going to be measured. So, OCP assesses a company's internal strengths and weaknesses across key functional areas. For example, finance, marketing. Now, this profile helps the organization to identify strategic assets that enable the organization to execute its strategy. Very important. The organization comes to know in it is just like benchmarking. Here also, the organization is trying to measure what? Its internal strength and weaknesses of internal key functions related to finance. That while whether the company is managing finance properly, whether the marketing team of the company is able to market the product or services of the company in the most effective manner or not. So that we can measure, that we can check under organizational capability framework. Now here we will be discussing the framework, what is included in the framework. On the slide it is written, you can see external stakeholders are there, then business strategy and goals are there, then external talent is written, at the lower side of the picture. And then there is a five, say four small circles are there, and they are connected to each other. That you can see on the slide in that particular picture. It is related to leadership, mindset, infrastructure, and talent. Talent is equal to capability multiplied by contribution multiplied by commitment. Now we are going to discuss that how that circle works. Leadership, organizational, internal systems we are talking about. How the internal systems are working. How human resource management is working. Is it working to the fullest level of effectiveness? When we can say that HR department of a particular company is working at the fullest level, when the department is able to hire good people who will stay with the organization over a long period of time. When the HR department is able to encourage or motivate or give proper training to the recruited employees so that their efficiency is increased, then we can say yes, the HR department of a particular organization is working at the fullest, at the best. Similarly, the finance department, similarly, the marketing department. That what type of marketing the marketing team is doing, whether our product is getting penetrated in the probable customers. If young people are the customers of the company, whether the marketing team is able to be in touch with the young people, or whether they are able to penetrate uh, 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 with the young people, whether they are spreading or increasing the reach of the product to the probable customers or not. That will decide whether it is effective or not. So here leadership plays a very important role. External stakeholder, here we will assume that the external environment includes the government of a particular country. So the rules and regulations prepared by the government or imposed by the government, started by the government, every organization has to comply with those. It is compulsory. Whether if the organization is working in India, it is compulsory for the organization to listen to the government, to abide by the rules and regulations prepared by the government. Otherwise, they are unable, they will be not able to carry out their business activities in the country. Same is the case with other countries also. In US, what is happening, we all are aware of. Recently, last week, the president of US, he has hosted the big industrialists of US, and when they were called for a dinner party at White House, and some sort of pressure was, they were pressurized that you have to invest. You might have seen the video also where the president was asking all these top industrialists that okay, how much your company is investing this year. Then he moved on to the next uh, the next CEO. He, we all have seen those videos. Apple has committed that we will be, say, investing $600 billion in US. The CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, has committed. That video is also there, and we have seen. So that is not voluntary. That is pressurized. That is the many a times we do not have control over external environment. We do not have that control because earlier US government was different. Now the government is very strict. They want that the company, the all the top American companies should stop manufacturing their products in other countries and they should start manufacturing in America only. This will give more employment opportunities to the American national. And that's the reason why the president of US, Donald Trump, is so aggressive related to America First policy. Now, here, why we are discussing this is we need to understand. Tim Cook is also aware. They have carried out a research, and that research says that if a iPhone is being manufactured in India and that and manufactured iPhone is sold in US market to US customers, US nationals, it costs around plus minus $1,000. Sorry, $100. $100 is the cost, or 110. So plus minus $100 is the cost. Now the research which has been carried out by Apple Group, the findings are that if they start manufacturing this Apple iPhone in US, the price of the Apple iPhone will increase by 3 times. And most of the US nationals will not be able to purchase iPhone. So findings are shocking. And the reasons are many why the prices will be 3 times than India. Reasons are we are India and China are the countries or other Asian countries where cheap labor is available. America, the rules related to basic salary or basic minimum wages for employees, for workers, are very strict, and that level is very high. So it is going to cost 3 times more than what its cost is now in US. If Apple starts manufacturing iPhones in US, company is aware that they will be losing their business if they shift their manufacturing plants to US. But still, because of that external pressure, the company has said that yes, we will try to shift. Later on, what will happen? That only time will tell. But uh, all these companies, they carry out their research, and that is what organization profile framework is, where they are checking their internal function and strength. That what are the strengths if the company internal strength, if the company is working in India, if what will happen when the company is shift this manufacturing plant to US. But because of that external uh, pressure, they have to say yes. The other companies are facing the same problem. So that's what we need to understand, that some of the situations, some of the factors are not in the control of the organization. They have to keep in mind that these are the factors which are not in our control, and we have to work under those factors. Right? now here he cannot go against Tim Cook, who is CEO of Apple. He cannot go against the president. He cannot go against the rules and regulations of the country. The moment he tries to go against the rules and regulations of the company, he will have to face a very heavy price. Many industrialists who went against or who tried to go against the law of the land, what happened to them, we are aware. And one of the example is Alibaba CEO, the wealthiest Chinese 5 years back, Jack Ma. Now we do not see his name. And recently, news was there that he had started teaching in a Chinese university. What happened to his billion-dollar companies? Earlier, he was the wealthiest Chinese, wealthiest, richest Asian. All of a sudden, when he tried to criticize the policies of the government, suddenly everything went against him. So every organization has to accept this fact that some factors are there where we do not have any control. So we have to only take care of the factors where we have control. Leadership, yes, we do have. It's an internal matter of the organization, not external. It is the internal matter of the organization. Here, the organization can have effective leadership, how your leadership should be. So every organization wants effective leaders. No organization, whether it's a small organization or a multinational company, every company wants effective leader. Effective leader are who are the effective leaders? Who are showing better results, who are showing best result, who are showing more profitability. These people are considered as better results. So how the leadership should be? Leadership should be such that it shows better results, not in the short term, but it is showing better results in the long term also. Then how the mindset of the organization should be. So mindset again, it plays a very important role. That first you need to believe that yes, your organization is able to achieve this goal in this particular situation also. Once you have prepared yourself, once you have created this sort of mindset that I have a very good team, my leader is great, my strategies are very good, and no matter if the situation is not so favorable, but still, I'm very much sure that if we implement this strategy, we are going to achieve the goal, we are going to achieve the target. So, this set of mindset should be there. So, in OCP, it is checked that what is the mindset of the leader, because they are the people who are going to prepare the strategies, who are going to lead the team, who are going to implement those strategies. So first, they should believe in their strategy. It should not happen. Now, Apple cannot believe, although they are aware that if they shift their plant to America, things will be difficult or more difficult. But they have such a mindset that okay, no problem, even if in such situation, if it happens in future, what we can do to see to it that Apple achieves its target. And that is what mindset is. So mindset again plays a very important role. Infrastructure, very simple. Machines should be there, employees should be there, everything should be covered in infrastructure, capital should be there, raw material should be there. All these things are included in infrastructure. Then talent is equal to capability into contribution into commitment. Again, this is to be checked. What the OCP is, what? Organization Profile Framework. So here we are checking, sorry, it is not profile framework, capability framework. We are checking what is the capability of the organization. On one hand, we are checking the mindset, then leadership, then infrastructure, and on the other hand, we will be checking what talent the company is having, because talent is very important. Talent is what? Here we are not talking about robotic talent. Here we are talking about the employee talent. How talented employees are in, or how many very talented employees, or if you have say 10 employees, how many employees you can say that they are very talented employees. Once when Bill Gates was asked the question, Bill Gates everyone is aware of. Once a question was asked by a reporter to Bill Gates when he was the richest person in the world. And a question was asked by a reporter that why you are not giving more employment opportunities to American people. Why you are giving more employment opportunity to Indians? And his answer was that Indians are more intelligent, more talented, more capable than the Americans. That's the reason. So his answer was very clear that we are employing people solely on the basis of their talent. We are not employing people on the basis of which nation they belong to or what is their nationality. That was the answer. Another question was asked, what will happen if the American government bans Indians who are working in US companies? And his answer was very clear. His answer was, the moment we are going to ban talented Indians, you will find Microsoft companies, Microsoft like companies coming up in India. And the American companies will have more competition. To avoid that competition, the best way is to employ their talent in our company. That is the importance of talent. A person who is richest in the world, who was richest in the world for more than 10 years, that person is coming up with such type of statement. So we can understand that what is the um, uh, or how much important talent is for the growth of the organization. That's the reason why it is said talent is equal to what? कैसा talent चाहिए? Talent is to be capable, and then that talent should contribute to the profitability or growth of the organization, and talent shall be committed with the growth of the organization. So all these things are very important when we are measuring the organizational capability profile or organizational capability framework. that decides organization's capability in all. So we need to study all these things. External, we do not have major, say, control over it. But external talent is, if why there is a connecting line between talent, the circle which is having talent is equal to capability into contribution into commitment, and there is again a line uh, connecting to the other uh, circle which has written external talent. So if your internal talent is not very good, it is not compulsory for you to that. No, it is OCP. It talks about organizational capability framework, where we are evaluating, where we are measuring the internal strength and weaknesses of the company. So we have to restrict ourselves to the internal operations only. So whenever there is a promotional opportunity, growth opportunity in the organization, we have to see to it that some internal person is to be promoted to the higher level. That is not the meaning of OCP. Yes, first preference is to be given to the internal person. But when the organization comes to know that internal person is lacking in what? Lacking in capability, lacking in contribution, or lacking in commitment. The person is very talented. The person is very capable. The person is contributing also. But the person is not committed to the development of the organization. The organization is not sure whether he is going to stay next month or not, because the organization has come to know that he has started looking for other opportunities also. Now, in such case, when when there is no existing person available who can be promoted to the next level, the best option available is to go for external talent, hire external talent. So that is what OCP is, organizational capability framework. Now here a graph is to be drawn where the parameters are also there, that if the dot is the first one, one indicates very poor, two indicates poor, then three indicates average, four indicates good, and five indicates very good. So when we are calculating, when we are measuring the strength and weaknesses of the company, then we need to uh, prepare such type of diagram so that we can understand that which particular key function of the organization needs improvement and which is at its best. So we can see that the under leadership, the dot is at 4. That means it is good, but it can move to very good. Very slight change is required. At the same time, we can see that resources and partnership, customer participation, and supplier participation is the dots indicate score is 2 and 2 indicates poor. So company needs to take drastic action in this area. They have to take some corrective action so that these dots can be shifted to 4 or 5. So that is how it is to be checked. Again, this is the another method where you need to write it down, the major point, and then you need to write the minor points also. And then we now we will move on to the next topic, which is called as BCG metrics. Only 2 minutes are remaining, so we will discuss this in the next session. So four quadrants you are seeing here. The first one is star, the other one is cash cow, then question mark, and then dog. So this is a particular BCG metric. It is related to the growth of the business, that how much growth is there in a particular sector, in a particular company. So that we are going to discuss in the next session. We will be discussing what is star, what is cash cow, what is dog, and what is question mark. That we are going to discuss. It talks about growth of the company. It talks about market share of the company. And so what is that? How it is to be calculated? That whether your company is in star or in the quadrant called cash cow, whether your company is falls under the quadrant or product falls under the quadrant of question mark, whether your product or company falls under the quadrant uh, of dog. That we will be discussing how um, the companies are allocated in different or given different quadrants. That also we will be discussing in the next session. So thank you everyone for being present in today's session. Thank you.